of those that are really giving their life to this. But I want to share something with you again because I know some of you probably forgot. Go to 1 Samuel, or some of you just tuned into this one part of the lesson. Now David, King David, he went on top of his roof and he seen Bathsheba. This is Uriah the Hittite's wife. And he seen her. And he had his men go get her. She was bathing. He seen her. She was beautiful. Fine. He seen her. Oh, that's why women not supposed to be showing their nakedness. He seen her. He desired her. And he was burning. He went and laid with her. And she got pregnant. And so Uriah the Hittite was a soldier of his. When he came back from the war, David plotted to have him go home to lay with his woman. So now that baby, because she conceived, she got pregnant by King David. So David had a plot to have Uriah come off the field, when he came off the field, to go home and lay with his woman, then they would think that that was his baby, but it really would be David's baby. And David knew this. But Uriah wouldn't go home. He stayed at his door. So the next day he got him drunk. He figured now surely he's going to be drunk. He don't want to go home to his beautiful woman. He didn't. He still stayed with the men of war at David's house, outside. So David had him put in the front line. Told Joab, come here, man. Put Uriah the Hittite on the front of the battle and pull back. So Joab found the mightiest men, the mightiest stronghold, put him out there, put Uriah out there, and he died. So Nathan is going to tell David a story, and we're going to read about it in 1 Samuel 12:1. Mind you, the Most High killed King David's, the Bathsheba's firstborn son. Most High killed him. He took him. And the next son that she had was King Solomon. So 1 Samuel 12:1. And Samuel said unto Salaki. 2 Samuel 12:1. I've been with me, I've been rolling a long time. Long week. 2 Samuel 12:1. And the Most High sent Nathan unto David, and he came unto him and said unto him, there were two men in one city, the one rich and the one poor, the other poor. The rich man had exceeding many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing, save one little one little lamb, which he had bought and nourished up, and it grew up together with him and with his children. He had children by this woman. It did eat of his own meat and drank of his own cup and lay in his bosom and was unto him as a daughter. So she laid in his bosom and she was unto him as a daughter. And there came a traveler unto the rich man, and he spared to take of his own flock and of his own herd. So traveler came, and the rich man didn't go out and get of his own herd to dress for the warfaring man that was come unto him to feed the man, but took the poor man's lamb, the only one that he had, and dressed it for the man that was come to him. He cooked it for the man that came to him. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man. And he said to Nathan, as the Most High liveth, the man that hath done this thing shall surely die. Whoever done this shall surely die. And he shall restore the lamb fourfold, because he did this thing, and because he had no pity. And Nathan said to David, thou art the man. I told you the story. You read about it in chapter 11. And Nathan said to David, thou art the man. That's what I want you to hear. Thus said the Most High Power of Israel, I anointed thee king over Israel. So who is the I? Who is the I? Thus said the Most High Power of Israel, I anointed thee king over Israel. That's the Most High. Anointed King David king over Israel. And that I also is the Most High, and I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul. That's the Most High said he delivered David out of the hands of Saul, our first king, who was after David to kill him. Listen to what he said in verse 8. And I, that's the Most High, gave thee thy master's house. The Most High gave David Saul's house and thy master's wives. So how is it against the law when the Most High said he gave David King Saul's wives into thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah, all 12 tribes, northern tribes and the southern tribes. The Most High said, I gave to you. Listen to what he said. And if that had been too little, now David already had wives in Hebron, and he had wives and concubines in Jerusalem. Many wives and concubines. And he said, and if that had been too little, after he had known that he had all these wives and concubines, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things. See? So that's the Most High said, I gave thee thy master's house and thy master's wives into thy bosom. You got to deal with that. Now, as I said, I didn't do this lesson to promote men going out there getting multiple wives, because that's not for everyone. You know, you got to look at what it's going to take in doing that, and being able to deal with the minds of each woman, the spirit of each woman, get them in the spirit. I mean, this world is set up to send everybody to hell. Get them out of that Gentile state of mind. Get them, stopping them from being a goat, being an Israelite. So I challenge you with this in Proverbs 31 and 10. Because if you look at the lessons that I've done last night, well, I just read what the sisters had wrote, and Parah did a pamphlet called A Husband and His Wives, a Holy Marriage by Parah. You can read that or listen to it. And the first one was about virtuous woman, and the second one was A Husband and His Wives, a Holy Marriage. Look at that. Now, because a lot of women say, the first thing they say is, a man has to be able to take care of multiple wives, completely take care of them. So I look at a lot of women, they don't work, they don't do anything, and the man go out there working job after job, 2 jobs to take care of them as they're at home doing little or nothing. Some don't even know how to cook, don't know how to keep the house clean, don't do nothing. Just eventually it be that way. They look at, oh, I'm set up. They be nice when they get them. Next thing you know, they done not exercising, not taking care of themselves. These things happen. And some things happen, unexpectedly, but it's reality. So I want to go to Proverbs 31 and 10. It says, who can find a virtuous woman? Now King Solomon said, no, he had 1,000. And he said he'd find one. And he found one brother. He said, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her. The mind of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. You know what he's saying? You have no need when they go out to war. You're dealing with things that you see to get, because when we went to war, we had warlike apparel. It was very, very, the best that we had. We went to war looking good. That's how we went to war. And no shabbiness, no looking like no beggar or nothing. We went to war with our best apparel on. It says, so he don't have no need to go through the men and get everything that they have to be able to bring back to his family. Listen what it says. This is a virtuous woman. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She's not going to be plotting on no evil things or coming up with, like it tells you in 1 Corinthians 3:23. Y'all should do it by heart. I go to it all the time. But many are deceived by their own vain opinion, worthless opinion, and an evil suspicion overthrown their judgment. Evil comes in and make them make the wrong judgment. Say like they're dealing with Satan, the devil. Straight up. He come in just like he got into the mind of Job's wife to tell her to tell Job the same thing he told the Most High that he going to have Job do. Curse him to his face. And that's what she said. Curse the Most High and die. Do you still have integrity? Because he has sores, boils from the top of his head to his bottom of his feet. With a scratching, scraping over with a cyst horn and so forth. All over his body. And she told him to curse the Most High and die. So he got into her mind. Like he got into the Sabians' minds, got into the Chaldeans' mind, to have them take away all Job's wealth. Livestock and all of that. Verse 12, she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool. Got to be doing something. She seeketh wool, meaning she's working. And flax and working. There it is, working willingly with her hands. She working with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She bringeth her food from afar. She might go somewhere to get, get groceries or whatever. From afar from the home. She rises also while it is yet night. It's nighttime. She up. She woke and giveth meat to her household, making sure that her household is fed, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field and buyeth it. She considereth a field, some land, and she buyeth it. This is a virtuous woman. With the fruit of her hands she planted a vineyard. So with the fruit of her hands she planting seeds in a vineyard. She working. She ain't at home and the man going out there doing everything and then she waiting for it, give me the check. She ain't doing nothing. Listen. She planted a vineyard. She girded her loins with strength and strengthened her arms. You hear that? She girded her loins with strength. Her loins is with strength and strengthened her arms. Her arms are getting strong. She got strength. She perceived that her merchandise is good. Her merchandise, not his, but her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. Because she's working. She's doing things. She's not laying around not doing anything. That's why I understand how you have the mindset. That's why I say you've been eaten of eyes. Straight up. You're a goat. Because this virtuous woman is doing, she taking care of business. Just keep saying her merchandise. What does it say? She perceived that her merchandise, not his, but her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, she's sewing, and her hands hold the distaff. She making things. She stretches out her hand to the poor. She feed the poor. She taking care of the poor. Yeah. She reaches forth her hands to the needy. She got something to be able to take care of the needy. Thinking about that. She is not afraid of the snow. For her household, it's snowing outside. She's still going out there taking care of business. Like a lot of you women that live in the East Coast. It snow every year. It don't stop. It snow every year. You got to still get out there and do what you got to do. Right? You're doing it. They're doing this. She stretches out her hand to the poor. Verse 21, she is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. All her household is clothed with scarlet that she done made. Red material. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates. That's where the elders are. When he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen and selleth it. Hear that? She maketh fine linen and selleth it. She maketh fine linen, so she working and selleth it. And delivered girdles unto the merchants. See, she delivering girdles to the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. Hear that? Strength and honor are her clothing, and she gonna rejoice in time to come. She opened up her mouth with wisdom. What wisdom? Proper application of knowledge of this Bible. And in her tongue is the law of kindness. She's very kind, very meek and humble, and loving. She looketh well to the ways of her household. She looking around, taking care of her household. And eateth not the bread of idleness. See, she ain't idle. Idle is the devil's playground, ain't it? Her children will rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. You gonna praise a woman like this, that's locked in like this. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excelleth them all. Hear that? From all the things that is written here concerning this virtuous woman. Favor is deceit, and beauty is vain. You see how we went to the beauty of Rachel? She was well favored and beautiful. Ended up taking her daddy's idols. Most High killed her in second childbirth. She had Benjamin. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Most High, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Praise her amongst the elders. Talking about praising her. Now, Ecclesiasticus 26:1 in the Apocrypha, it says, blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. And if you don't have a virtuous wife, I've seen many men that I knew, they died before their wife. They died before their wife. Their wife outlived them. But it says, blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. Double. A virtuous woman rejoices her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. The peace, man. Peace. That's powerful. When you look at, he's gonna have his life gonna be double, and he's gonna fulfill his life in peace, because a virtuous woman gonna rejoice her husband. But this world, the man gotta rejoice the woman. The woman gotta be dealing with the woman. Where the woman think that, okay, well, I'll do whatever I do, whatever I want, whenever I want to, how I want to do it, because you a goat. You Edomite. You of this world. You see what it says? A virtuous woman rejoices her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Most High. Say. Verse 26. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all. But she that dishonoreth him in her pride, that's her pride. But women don't think they have no pride. Shall be counted unrighteous of all. A loud crying woman, a big mouth woman, that's a loud crying woman. A big mouth woman and a scold shall be sought out to drive away the enemies. Woo. So, this is very important that we look at these scriptures and study them, go over them, and realize, as it says in Ecclesiasticus 24:22, he that obeyeth me shall never be confounded, never be confused. And they that work by me shall not do amiss. All these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High power, even the law which Moses commanded for an heritage unto the congregations of Jacob. Okay? So, I'm going to end right there. But I hope it was edifying. If not, then I'll bring some more to you if you need more. But I think I covered a lot today, and all praise to the Most High. All glory to the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And if you'd like further information, you can reach me, Priest Thaahwam, at P.O. Box 20012, Long Beach, California, 90801-3012. And with that, I'm out. Shalom.